Have you ever woken up with a stiff, aching back that makes it hard to move? That's not just aging. It's a sign your body is lacking stability and joint endurance. Here's the good news. You don't need intense workouts or long sessions. Just 5 minutes every morning with this simple routine can activate your core, ease stiffness, and protect your spine effectively. Perfect for beginners. No equipment needed. Easy to do at home. Stay consistent for a few weeks, and you'll feel a clear difference. Subscribe now for more short, powerful workouts that truly work. Biceps. Have you ever wondered why something as simple as walking downstairs or standing up from a chair makes your knee twinge? It's not intense pain, just enough to make you hesitate every time you move. Many people assume it's wear and tear, or just a normal part of aging. But the real issue might surprise you. It often comes from the patellar tendon, the structure that handles most of the load every time you stand, walk, or sit down. Here's the problem. We focus on strengthening muscles, but forget that tendons are the true load-bearing bridge. Muscles can get stronger fairly quickly. Tendons adapt much more slowly. If your muscles outpace your tendons, your knee starts sending warning signals. That's why you can still move, still exercise, yet the dull ache keeps coming back. And if you don't address it properly, you may start avoiding movement, which only leads to more weakness over time. The good news? You don't need complicated or heavy exercises. A wall-supported lunge is a simple but powerful way to wake up your patellar tendon. When you hold a controlled position without moving, the tendon receives the right kind of stimulus to grow thicker, stronger, and more resilient. Over time, small daily actions, standing up, climbing stairs, squatting, stop feeling intimidating. Your knee feels more stable. Your steps feel more confident. Here's how to do it. Stand about 1 arm's length away from a wall. Step 1 foot forward into a lunge position. Bend the front knee slightly so your thigh is nearly parallel to the ground. Keep the back leg straight for support. Place both hands on the wall and lean your body slightly forward. Most importantly, keep your front knee aligned with your toes. Don't let it collapse inward. Once you're in position, simply hold. You'll feel a mild burn in the front of your thigh, near the knee. That's a good sign. The tendon is being activated. Breathe steadily. Don't hold your breath. Start with about 20 seconds on each side. Rest briefly. Repeat 2 to 3 times. If it feels too challenging, bring your back foot closer to reduce the load. Remember, you don't need to push through pain. Your body doesn't need suffering. It needs steady, controlled, safe tension. Just a few consistent minutes each day can begin rebuilding a strong foundation for your knees. And sometimes, the biggest changes begin with the simplest position. Have you noticed that some mornings, you wake up with a dull ache in your lower back, and even bending down to tie your shoes feels uncomfortable? Many people blame their sleeping position or say, "My back is just weak." But here's a better question. What if your core isn't doing its job? Going back to the title, asterisk, wake up with back pain, 5-minute routine for beginners. Asterisk, this is one of the most important exercises to fix the root cause. Here's the truth. Most people misunderstand the core. We do crunches. We hold planks until we're shaking. But the core's main job is not to create movement, it's to stabilize the spine. When your core is weak or inactive, your lower back takes over. Over time, you start noticing familiar signs. Back pain when standing too long. Fatigue from sitting too much. Stiffness every morning when you wake up. And the more it hurts, the less you want to move. The less you move, the weaker your core becomes. A frustrating cycle. The good news? You don't need heavy training or complicated exercises. A wall sit combined with core bracing is a simple but powerful way to retrain your body to stabilize the spine properly. When you hold this position, deep muscles like the transverse abdominis, intercostals, and even the pelvic floor work together. This is your body's natural armor protecting your spine. The benefits go beyond pain relief. You'll feel more stable standing. Lifting light objects becomes easier. And most importantly, mornings won't start with that stiff, uncomfortable lower back. Here's how to do it. Stand with your back against a wall. Step your feet slightly forward. Slowly slide down until your thighs are nearly parallel to the floor. Keep your back flat against the wall, from your shoulders down to your lower back. Now comes the most important part. Brace your core. Imagine someone is about to lightly punch your stomach. You naturally tense up. That's the feeling you want. Don't suck your stomach in. Instead, tighten the entire area from your ribs down to your hips. Hold for about 20 seconds. Breathe normally. Don't hold your breath. Try to maintain the brace even while inhaling. If your lower back starts to peel away from the wall, that's a sign your core has relaxed. Gently reset and tighten again. If you're new or currently dealing with back pain, you don't need to slide down too low. Just find a position where you feel effort, but no pain. Each week, add a few more seconds. Remember, it's not about how long you hold. It's about holding it correctly. Just a few minutes a day teaches your body how to protect itself again. And over time, that morning back pain, the one that once felt inevitable, won't feel normal anymore. Have you ever noticed that after walking a bit longer, standing for a while, or picking up your pace, the back of your ankle starts to feel tight and tired? Or maybe you sometimes feel slightly unsteady, not fully grounded when you move. It may seem small, but that could be a sign your Achilles tendon is getting weaker. And if you remember the title asterisk, wake up with back pain. 5-minute routine for beginners. Asterisk, this is one important piece many people overlook. Here's the issue. The Achilles tendon is one of the strongest tendons in your body, yet one of the most neglected. With every step you take, it handles forces several times your body weight. But most of us rarely train it properly. Over time, it loses elasticity, becomes weaker, and the result isn't just calf fatigue. It can affect your balance and make you less stable when walking, especially as you get older. You may not notice it right away, but when this foundation weakens, the whole body feels it. Unstable ankle, right pointing arrow knees compensate, right pointing arrow hips and lower back take on extra stress. That's how pain can appear, out of nowhere. The good news? You can improve this in a very simple way. A heel raise hold doesn't just activate your calf muscles, more importantly, it helps the Achilles tendon gradually adapt to load in a slow, safe, and lasting way. As the tendon becomes stronger, you'll feel the difference: steadier posture, more confident steps, and less of that shaky feeling when standing for long periods. Here's how to do it. Stand facing a wall, about 1 foot away. Place both hands on the wall for balance. Slowly rise up onto your toes as high as you comfortably can, shifting your weight to the balls of your feet. Once you're up, hold the position. You'll feel your calves tighten and a deep pulling sensation behind your ankle. That's your Achilles tendon activating. Hold for 10 to 15 seconds. Breathe steadily. Don't tense your entire body. Then lower your heels down very slowly over about 3 seconds. This lowering phase is extremely important. It's what helps the tendon grow stronger. Don't rush it. Control the movement. Repeat 4 to 5 times, resting briefly between each representative. If you have ankle discomfort, lift slightly lower, as long as there's no sharp pain. The goal isn't higher is better. The goal is proper tension and control. Just a few minutes a day helps rebuild the foundation your body relies on with every step. And when your foundation is strong, everything feels easier: walking, climbing stairs, even standing still. Sometimes, confidence in your movement starts with a small, simple exercise like this. Have you ever reached up to grab something overhead and suddenly felt a sharp twinge in your shoulder? Or simply slept on your side, only to wake up with a dull, aching shoulder? Many people blame degeneration or aging. But here's a better question. What if your shoulder is getting weaker because it's not being used the right way? And if you remember the title asterisk, Wake Up with Back Pain. 5-minute routine for beginners. Asterisk, your shoulders are an important part of that movement chain you shouldn't ignore. Here's the issue. We use our shoulders all day, but we rarely activate the small stabilizing muscles that keep the joint secure, especially the rotator cuff. When these muscles weaken, the shoulder joint becomes unstable and slightly misaligned. The result? Every time you lift your arm, rotate your body, or even sleep in an awkward position, the shoulder can get mildly pinched, creating pain or discomfort. This doesn't happen overnight. It builds up slowly. Long hours at the computer, rounded shoulders, poor movement habits. Over time, your shoulder loses its natural stability, and one day you realize, simple movements don't feel comfortable anymore. The good news? You don't need heavy weights or complicated routines. A doorway push is a simple but highly effective exercise to reactivate your shoulder stabilizers. When you create controlled, static pressure, the entire chain, from your hand to your arm to your shoulder blade, works together. Muscles like the serratus anterior and the posterior shoulder muscles help reposition and stabilize the joint. You'll likely notice benefits quickly. Your shoulders feel more set and secure. Lifting your arms overhead feels smoother. Your posture improves, chest opens, back straightens, neck and upper shoulder tension decreases. Here's how to do it. Stand inside a doorway. Raise one arm forward at shoulder height, palm facing forward like you're stopping something. Step slightly forward so your palm presses firmly against the door frame. Now comes the key part. Push. Imagine you're trying to move the entire wall. Keep your arm straight, but let the force travel from your hand through your arm and deep into your shoulder blade. You should feel strong activation behind the shoulder and between the shoulder blades. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. While holding, pay attention to this. Don't let your shoulder shrug up toward your ear. Don't let it roll forward. Keep your chest gently open. Keep your spine tall. And most importantly, breathe. Don't hold your breath. Steady breathing helps maintain stable tension. If you're currently dealing with shoulder pain, start with lighter pressure. You don't need to push as hard as possible, just enough to feel activation, without sharp pain. Just a few minutes each day can help your shoulder regain its natural stability. And over time, that uncomfortable pain when reaching up or waking in the morning won't feel like a normal part of life anymore. Have you noticed that lately it feels harder to open a bottle cap? That carrying a heavy bag for a short time leaves your hand exhausted? Or even holding your phone too long causes slight numbness? It may seem small, but it's a clear sign your grip strength is declining. And here's the interesting part. Grip strength doesn't just affect your hands. It's connected to your overall strength, shoulder stability, and daily movement capacity. The problem is, we rarely train our grip directly. Most workouts focus on big muscles, chest, back, legs, while ignoring the smaller muscles and tendons in the hands and forearms. Over time, these tissues weaken. You gradually lose the ability to truly squeeze and hold tight, a skill that seems simple, but is incredibly important. When your grip weakens, you're more likely to drop things, struggle to hold heavier objects, and even feel less confident doing normal tasks. Grip strength isn't just about your hands. It's the connection point between your body and the outside world. Every time you hold, pull, or carry something, it starts with your hands. If that connection is weak, the entire chain above it is affected. The good news? You don't need fancy equipment. A towel hang is a simple yet extremely effective way to rebuild grip strength and tendon endurance. Unlike a regular bar hang, the towel creates instability. That instability forces your fingers and hands to work much harder to maintain control. This is what builds real grip strength, not just passive holding. Here's how to do it. Take a thick towel and drape it over a sturdy pull-up bar or secure door frame. Grab both ends of the towel with your hands about shoulder width apart. If you're ready, slowly lift your feet off the ground to hang. If that's too challenging, keep your feet lightly touching the floor for assistance. The most important part isn't just hanging, it's squeezing. Imagine you're trying to wring water out of the towel. Squeeze firmly with your entire hand. You should feel strong tension in your fingers, palms, and forearms. That's your tendons and muscles activating properly. Start with 10 to 15 seconds. Rest. Repeat a few times. If it feels too difficult, reduce the load by keeping more weight on your feet. If it feels easy, increase the hold time or squeeze harder. While holding, keep your shoulders stable, avoid swinging, and breathe steadily. Don't try to tough it out. You just need clear, controlled tension. With just a few minutes a day, your hands will start to feel stronger and more solid. Opening jars, carrying groceries, gripping objects, all become easier. And more importantly, you regain a sense of control. It may seem small, but that sense of control plays a powerful role in your confidence every single day. If you've read this far, chances are you've started to notice your body doesn't feel as flexible as it once did. A little lower back pain in the morning. Some discomfort in your knees, or shoulders and wrists that don't quite cooperate like they used to. But here's the good news. You can absolutely change that, starting with simple daily exercises. No gym. No complicated equipment. Just a few consistent minutes each day. With steady effort, you're rebuilding a body that's stronger, more stable, and built to last. Start today, even if it's just 5 minutes. In a few weeks, your body will thank you. And you'll feel a clear difference in even the smallest movements. If you found this helpful, tap like to support the channel and subscribe so you don't miss more simple, effective guidance on your journey to better health. Biceps.